हमारे आसपास इतना शोर है कि हमें अपनी अंदर की आवाज़ सुनाई नहीं देती है. We live in a world that is filled with noise all around us. A world where we have responsibilities and a life that is filled with distractions. Right? Today's digital times where the notifications don't stop. There is so much of excess of information that we have to absorb. We have to remember things, so many things that we have to remember. Then there are opinions that have made us forget and overlook the power of silence. We crave that at least one moment in our life that we could get where nobody talks to us, no phone notifications come, and we can just spend time with our own self. लगता है आपको ऐसा? मुझे तो बहुत बार लगता है ये. Right? Hello everyone, this is Sonia. You with me on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays, and today we're going to be talking about the power of silence. कहते हैं ना, silence is golden. If not all fights are worth fighting, not all conversations are worth talking about or participating in. I personally believe that, we need to find a moment of silence in our lives where we are only connecting with our inner self and not with the world around us. Because at the end of the day, there are many things happening in our mind. Our body is reacting differently. Our mind is reacting differently. Our mouth, the words that are coming out of our mouth are making very different impact on people's life. And somewhere in the day-to-day running of meeting deadlines, catching up with your family, friends, living up to the expectations of people around you, stresses us out so much that we are not able to connect with our own inner self, right? So we're going to be talking about power of silence today. So let's get started with this really exciting episode today, right? I remember when we had lockdown ke time pe, I think it was not the best time, I can say, because we all lost something or the other that was very valuable to our lives. Many people lost many of their loved ones during that time, which was lockdown, because of the pandemic which was there. But I think lockdown also made people realize many things about their own self. During my lockdown, because there was nobody to talk to, if you're not living with your family and you're living all alone, so you don't have anyone to talk to. और आप कितना किसी को phone करोगे? You're working from home and all you see is your laptops, your phones, switch on the TV, and even if you stand in the balcony, you don't see any people moving around. And so your neighbors also, so there's nobody even knocking on your door. So it was scary, but at the same time, I personally felt that, it gave me a lot of time for introspection as well. I started loving that me time that I was getting during that lockdown period. But many of us also face challenges into saying that, I'm very uncomfortable with this silence zone, where I'm not talking to anybody, people are not talking to me, not too many people were calling you also, and you were not going out socializing as well. So it was a very difficult time, but many of us have realized, what silence also means to us, what is the power that it brings with us, how it transforms our life as well, right? So, and not always silence is taken as absence of only sound, right? It is such a powerful tool. It is such a transformational tool that if we start adopting this power of silence in our lives, even if it is for a moment of say 15 minutes or 30 minutes on a daily basis in our life, it can transform not just us as a person, but also it will shape our careers as well, right? So I realized this much later, because now people are more informed. People know about what is the impact of certain things in our life. I remember our grandparents, our great grandparents भी बोलते थे कि थोड़ा सा मौन व्रत रख लो, मौन व्रत रख लो, विपासना कर लो. That was all because this concept of silence has been there for a very long time. And वो बड़े बुजुर्ग बिल्कुल ठीक कहते थे कि आपको थोड़ा सा मौन व्रत अपने पूरे जीवन में on a day-to-day basis रखना चाहिए, because that connects you with your inner self, that calms you down, that makes you reason a lot of things. Because of your day to day running around, you're not able to even know that there are certain things happening inside you जो आपको reason out करनी चाहिए अपने आप से, वो हम नहीं कर पाते हैं because we are so busy reasoning out with others, talking to others, or just spending time with our digital gadgets कि हमें अपने आप से बात करने का मौका ही नहीं मिलता है. एंड बात करने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप अपने आप से मतलब एक कोने में बैठ के अपने आप बातें करते रहो, नहीं. आप बातें करने का मतलब है कि आप एटलीस्ट अपनी आंखें बंद करके just sit in a quiet nice corner. It could be your balcony. For me it's my balcony. I love my balcony, and a lot of friends who visited my house, they know that how much I love my balcony, and they all love it too. So that's my go-to place if I just want to sit with some peace, and I don't want any sound around me, I don't want any notifications coming me. I just put my phone on DND, and I put an alarm in my phone to say, okay, fine, next 30 minutes, I'm neither going to be picking up any calls. I'm not going to be answering even a doorbell if it's going to ring. I don't, because it's not like the heaven is falling, right? Because I know if my nephew is coming back from college, okay, abhi uska college se aane ka time nahi hai, and that's not the time that I do my meditation or just spending time with my own self. I do it early in the morning. That's the way I like it. Or before I go to sleep, I love to do that as well, because how my day went, was I happy today? Did I achieve something today? Was something bothering me? Did I miss out something? So I do all of that when I am spending time with my own self, right? Even if you look at the ancient India, till today, Chanakya is considered to be the Machiavelli of India. Purely because he's also in terms, he's known for his wit, diplomacy, understanding, the kind of advice that he used to give, and he's played a very key role in establishing the entire Maurya Empire of Chandragupta Maurya, right? So the entire Maurya Empire, he has been the key strategist, key thinker, key planner for the whole the empire that was built on it, right, of the ancient India. So he was also known as a big scholar, teacher, philosopher, economist, statesman. So there are so many names that have been given to Chanakya, for that matter. And Chanakya Niti, if you read, if you Google and search, in that somewhere it has also been very strongly mentioned that you should speak only when it is necessary. Don't just speak for the heck of it. Speak when it is really needed. Otherwise, spend your time listening. Because when you put your mind into only listening, then your concentration level goes up. You're able to understand the other people much better. You start being very empathetic to people. And especially when you're going to work, don't indulge into unnecessary talking to people for the heck of it, just to please somebody, just to do some rapport building with somebody. When you have an agenda in mind, when you really feel that this is what I want to communicate, आप बात करो ना. बट हेक ऑफ इट के लिए सिर्फ कि चलो बातें करनी है, चलो जोक्स क्रैक करने हैं, हम भी कर लेते हैं, सामने वाला कर रहा है, चलो मैं भी एक जोक सुना देता हूँ. No, try to observe people. There's a lot of good things which come with silence, a lot of introspection that we do. Today we also like मौन व्रत भी जो पहले हमारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स रखते थे, वो इसीलिए रखते थे कि वो आपको समझ पाएं, वो आगे जो उनके जीवन में जो आगे जो चीज़ें हो रही है उनके साथ, वो उनको समझ पाएं कि मेरे साथ पहले ये क्यों हुआ, अब मेरे साथ आगे क्या होगा, मैं अपने आप को कैसे आगे लेके जाऊं. So many of these things of what is happening with us so far, what will happen with us, what is currently happening with me, silence gives us the power to realize a lot of things. It makes us so calm and so composed that we are in control of our own self, right? So if I can just tell you what are the advantages of being silent sometimes and developing this habit of getting into a silence zone. So you can create like a silence zone at home and even in the office. So if you're taking like those multiple breaks in between, कि 5-5 10-10 मिनट का आप ब्रेक ले रहे हो, या लंच के बाद आपको थोड़ा ब्रेक लेना है, just find a very quiet corner in somewhere in your office. And आप ऑफिस में अब साउंड तो बंद हो नहीं सकता है, बिकॉज यू कांट टेल एवरीबडी टू कीप शट जस्ट बिकॉज you want to just shut your eyes and meditate, or just be on your own and not listen to anybody. So see which is the quiet corner, and आप अपने फ़ोन को DND मोड पे कर दो. And if you really want, you can just play some meditating soft music at a very low volume, कि आपको बस ऐसा लग रहा है कि बाहर पेड़ों की आवाज़ आ रही है, बारिश की आवाज़ आ रही है, और या फिर birds are chirping outside. So only that kind of a volume keep in your phone, and you could use there are so many apps which are there which provide you with some nice calming music, जिसमें लाउड भी नहीं है, आपका एक झरना बह रहा है, देयर इज अ वाटरफॉल नॉइज दैट इज कमिंग, देयर आर बर्ड्स चर्पिंग, देयर इज सम विंड नॉइज दैट इज कमिंग इन. सो I think that kind of music you can use at a very low volume, that will keep you away from, even if there's somebody talking in the corridor, and just shut your eyes and just concentrate on what is happening with you. And sometimes you're blank, you may not even think anything, and that's a good sign, because if no thoughts are coming in your mind during that time when you're like just with your own self, that's even better, because then, which means your mind is at peace, your body is relaxed right now, and there is nothing that is coming to you across to your mind. So which means there's nothing bothering you as well. The day you reach that stage where your mind does not have any thoughts coming, which means you've reached a stage where you are in peace with yourself, you're at peace with people around you, you're at peace with the way of your life as well, right? So I think I'll tell you 3 things how it can benefit you. There are a lot of benefits of getting into a silence zone on a day-to-day basis. One I can tell you is that you start making good decisions in your life, because you are able to channelize your energy, you're able to get more focused in your life, because of which you take very well thought out decisions, or you make choices that are very well thought out, right? You start making very strategic decisions instead of making decisions in a haste, right? मेरे साथ बहुत होता है कि दिन भर में अगर मैं बहुत टेंशन में हूँ, बहुत स्ट्रेस में हूँ, तो सामने जो भी आया, अगर उसने मुझे कुछ बोला, I immediately react, and the very next moment I repent it, and then I'll just message saying sorry, I think I lost my cool. ये मेरे साथ बहुत बार होता है, and I think all the people who have interacted with me know about it, that मैं कभी कभी बहुत impulsive हो जाती हूँ, and just to control that impulsive behavior, I've started doing this power of silence. I get into a silence zone where I don't talk to anybody, I don't respond to any messages, all my digital gadgets are far away from me, and I only have a timer set कि मुझे ये 30 minutes, I don't want anyone, just I want to talk to myself, right? So it helps you channelize your energy in a good way, ताकि आप अपने आप को समझ सको, what is happening around you, आप उसको ज़्यादा अच्छे से समझ सको. And it's a very nice feeling at the end, after 30 minutes, जब आप अपनी आँखें खोलते हो ना, मतलब आपके सामने things become more clear. आपके सामने बहुत क्लैरिटी आ जाती है as to why you feeling in a certain way, how you can improve your life in for better. आप अपने करियर में आगे अगर जाना चाहते हो, what you want to achieve, आपको थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी मिल जाती है उससे, right? And secondly, it also improves your communication. क्योंकि अब देखो, अगर कोई if there is a sales executive who is sitting in a closure meeting, now अगर वो खुद ही बोलता जाएगा और सामने if he is not going to listen to the customer, so at the end of the day, if you're not going to listen to what the customer is saying, you'll not understand their needs, you'll not understand where they're coming from, how can you negotiate better. तो आपको अगर साइलेंट होकर आप पहले सामने वाले की बात सुनोगे, you'll understand where the person is coming from, and then you can counter each and every point that the other person is saying, right? So I think when you start getting into that silent zone, that becomes more like a habit also for you. So when others are talking to you, you don't feel like interrupting them, because you feel now you've become very patient. You're not very impatient to break them and carry on with what you want to say immediately. You become very patient in terms of that, okay, let me hear out what the other person is saying. You get into that zone, and which is so amazing, right? And when you start understanding what the other person is coming from, you start developing very stronger bonds with them. Your relationship bonding or your skills of creating nice relationship with people, that improves a lot, right? So I think it really improves your communication, because you start listening, you start understanding, you build empathy for people, and in the long run in your career, this is the skill that will help you and will take you, because it's a soft skill, right? It will help you go places in your career as well, right? The third I feel is that you start becoming better emotionally as a person. Your emotional quotient goes up. You become your emotional intelligence becomes far improved, because you're so calm and composed. Like I said, you are totally in control of your feelings, of your thoughts. Even if you start receiving a lot of criticism, people are criticizing your ideas, people are criticizing the way you've dressed up, or the way you talk, etc., or the way you conduct yourself, you don't respond immediately, because you've got this habit of being silent and calm, composed, and you're in control of yourself. You don't take charge and immediately respond. You basically respond constructively after analyzing where the other person is coming from, rather than getting into a defensive zone. You actually respond very constructively, and that is a very good quality to have, especially in your work life. That will take you places in terms of your career as well, right? Now, how do you actually get into that silent zone, right? हमें कोई विपासना, कोई yoga center join कर लें, या हम घर पे कैसे करें? So it's very simple. Like how I started doing it is that you meditate, but even if you don't know how to meditate, all you can do is just keep a goal of, say, consistent रहना है. तो उसके लिए you say, okay, fine, for 14 days or 28 days, if you can manage immediately for 28 days, good. But start with at least say 14 days, 2 weeks. आप उस टाइम में कोई एक टाइम डे का चूज करो. से मॉर्निंग आप उठते हो, थोड़ा हाफ एन आवर थोड़ा जल्दी उठ लो. Get into your balcony or whichever area of your house that you really find peace in. Just go there. You can keep a bottle of water with you. You can take sips of water if you want to. Don't put on music, क्योंकि सुबह सुबह म्यूजिक की मेडिटेशन म्यूजिक की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. So all you need is just sit in the balcony, close your eyes, and then just enjoy the sound that is coming around. Maybe there's wind blowing, or it's raining outside, or there are birds chirping, or simply just pin drop silence. कई बार होता है that morning when we go into the balcony, it's pin drop silence. You can hear yourself breathe as well. And that's a very good feeling. Trust me, try it out. That is how you will develop that habit. कि आप 14 days का challenge लो अपने आप. हम लोग health challenge लेते हैं, हम कितने सारे challenges ले लेते हैं. आप अब silence के लिए भी take a 14-day challenge and pick a corner in your house, and also with that pick a corner in the office also. कि आपने office में for 10 minutes you're going to just get into a silent zone. At home you can do it for half an hour. And before sleeping, if you can do it again, nothing like it. आप अगर 3 बार नहीं कर सकते हो, do it only once. Maybe do it in the morning or do it before you go to bed. But certainly make this a choice in your life to get into a silence zone once a day for sure, because you will benefit immensely from it. You yourself will start realizing how it is transforming you as a person, as an individual too, right? The other way you can actually start getting into a silent zone is by listening more and talking less. There is a saying that goes that, wise people speak only when they have something to say, whereas foolish people, they speak when they want to say something. कि कुछ भी बोलना है तो बोल दो, हमें कोई नहीं फर्क पड़ता whether it is relevant to the topic of the discussion that is happening or not, क्योंकि हमें बोलना है, बाकी लोग बोल रहे हैं तो हम कैसे पीछे रहे, हमें भी बोलना है, हम भी बोल देंगे, right? Whereas wise people, they know, they want to contribute to the discussion, and they have a specific agenda of why they want to talk something, and that's when then they talk. They don't talk in the air, they don't just talk for the heck of it, right? So start listening more, talking less, observe people more. And then what you can also do is schedule a thinking time. ऑफिस में थिंकिंग टाइम, घर पे भी थिंकिंग टाइम, schedule. आप अपना, you make your calendar, I have a meeting, I have to make a call, I have to respond to emails. So when you're making a calendar, make a calendar, put a time for, you can say thinking time, or you can say silence zone. So you can block your calendar with those particular time zones where you don't want to be disturbed, where you don't want to look at your phone, look at your emails, or anything for that matter, and you don't want to even look at anybody also. So block your calendars. That's a good way of doing that. I don't do that because अब ये habit बन गई है मेरी, तो I don't need reminders कि मुझे अभी ये silence zone में जाना है. So it's become like a habit for me. But if you're starting new and you want to try this out, I'm sure you would want to do that because it is for your own benefit, right? So get into that zone of being silent at least once a day, because it will help you think very clearly. It will bring in a lot of clarity in your life as to why things were happening so far. Did you miss out on anything? What is it that you want to do ahead also? It gives your mind a lot of space to move around and find different ways on which it'll guide you to walk on, right? So it also makes you realize that how are you feeling today. So I do that, when I shut my eyes, I said, how am I feeling right now? So am I feeling sad? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling disappointed? So the first question I ask my mind is, how am I feeling right now? Because when I know that I'm feeling happy, then my mind will just tell me, you're happy, chill, enjoy your this me time. But if my mind tells me you're disappointed, then there are a lot of thoughts that will come into your mind. Why are you disappointed? Then you can handle those things in a very positive way, in a very constructive way rather, right? So please make sure that you get into a silent zone. You create a space for yourself where you're only communicating with your own self and nobody else. And trust me, that will help you communicate better with other people as well. Yes, on that note, I'm going to end my Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button. Yes, and please do like, comment and share my video, and I'm going to see you next Thursday. Have a good day everyone. Bye bye.